Hey, it's Grady at Twin Creek Audio, back in the studio today with another crazy setup. Today I'm going to try and sum some tracks through the Interface Electronics Series 100 mixer here. I've got the outputs of the DAW connected to the line inputs on this little mixer, and I'm going to sum the tracks through this. It's a fairly simple setup, and so I've got 8 different sources coming out of the DAW and through the mixer, and then I'm using 1 and 2 subgroups for the master bus. Those are transformer balanced outputs on this, and I have those connected to this little Audient Evo 4, so we can capture the sound from the main DAW over here off camera, the one that you see in all the videos, through this and then onto this. So it's going to be really fun to see what this sounds like. This is going to be the exact same as in the box mix, but sent through this little mixer, and I'm going to use a little bit of the EQ on here just to kind of see what it sounds like, I guess, because I want to, because it's going to be fun, and I want to see what the nice EQs on this little mixer sounds like. If you're going to sum things through it, you could do a little bit of EQ on there and see how well that works. So I thought we'd try that. I've chosen the song Half Mile from the Completists debut album In Some April Dusk. So I'll put a link in the video description to the original mix of that song, which is the same thing as this, only this is going to be summed through here with a little bit of EQ, and that's it. Everything else is going to be the same as that original mix, so that link will be in the description for comparison if you want to check that out. So let's get started and show you what I've got up here going through this little mixer so that we can see what it sounds like to sum something through. Okay, here it is. This is the Interface Electronics Interface Series 100 mixer. It's an 8-channel mixer. It has 4 tracks labeled 1 through 4. So those are subgroup outputs. We're using the first 2. So I have the line inputs, so that I can bring that from the DAW through the line inputs on the back of the mixer through the main channels here. I have each of those assigned to 1 and 2, which would be 1 to the left and 2 to the right, so that I can pan things like I want. So I've got drums here on 1 and 2 in stereo, and so those are panned hard left and hard right because that's being sent as a stereo pair. I actually have the 50 Hertz switch here on the switchable low frequency. These modules have inductor-based EQs, so I'm boosting 50 on the drums, and I'm removing some 500 from the right side of the drums, but not from the left side, and I'm boosting 8K on both of them with these EQs here on the Interface Series 100. Then we've got bass guitar, boosting some 50 on it as well, removing some 500 and boosting some 4K with the EQ here on the mixer. Sounds really cool so far. Then we've got acoustic guitar. I'm doing a little bit of 4K boost, taking out a little 500, boosting a little 100 here. Then piano and organ here and here. And then we have the vocals and background vocals down here. And they're panned around kind of crazy. That's not supposed to be that way. And all of the gain controls are set at 20 on these, and these do affect the line input gain as well as the mic gain. So I'm not sure, but it's possible that the line inputs also go through the mic input transformers. Maybe it's just padded down. I'm not really sure. I'm going to get into the internals of this at some point in a future video, and like I said before, hopefully maybe more of the history of this. But anyway, I'm going to sum, or kind of sum, half mix, sweeten with some EQ, the song Half Mile now through this little guy and see what it sounds like.
yourself as the king, and it fluxed. The times changed. You're a loser at the game. It's half a mile away. It's half a mile away. Hey, it's half a mile away. When you're so high up, seem so far away. All the miles, fantasies, just a million shattered dreams. Always ends, why now, why me? Hasty lover of life flees the scene. It's half a mile away. It's half a mile away. Hey, it's half a mile away. When you're so high, seem so far away. And it's only now I see this was all so dear to me.
That was really cool. I had a lot of fun mixing some stuff through the Interface Electronics Series 100 mixer. I think this thing sounds fantastic. I didn't really do a whole lot other than sent out the individual parts that I showed you earlier in the video out through the mixer and pushed the line buttons on that and used the two subgroup outputs that are transformer balanced or marked that way on the back of the mixer, and it gets a fantastic sound. It's really not noisy. There's no noticeable hiss or hum or anything like that. And for a little mixer that was made in the probably mid to late 70s, I'm not exactly sure on the date for this, but my guess would be 1976, 77. I don't know. I'm trying to find out more about Interface Electronics that made in Houston, Texas, and look for that. As I find that stuff out, I'll put it in future videos. So make sure you hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the Twin Creek Audio YouTube channel, leave a comment if you want to know more about the Interface Electronics, also known as Stevenson mixers, and I'll dig into the history of that in future videos as I find the information to do it. I really appreciate all the new subscribers and appreciate everyone who watches the videos. Thank you so much, and hope you all have an excellent, wonderful day, night, evening, weekend, weekday, hour, minute, second, nanosecond, whatever it is you're having. Have a good one, and thanks so much for watching.
And it fluxed. The times changed. You're a loser at the game. It's half a mile